You felt it. You walk into a modern storefront, completely fine. You start browsing, but 20 minutes later, out of nowhere, your temple tightens. A sudden wave of intense fatigue hits your chest, and you feel an urgent need to just pay and get out. You think you just got tired of shopping, but you didn't. Your nervous system was targeted by a multi-million-dollar strategy called acoustic deterrence. That headache was a calculated biological trigger to forcefully move your body out of the room.
When you walk into a modern retail store, every movement feels like a personal choice. You decide your walking speed, which displays catch your eye, and exactly when it's time to head for the exit. But beneath the surface, these physical behaviors are being guided by the environment itself. Retailers rely on a strategy known as acoustic deterrence planning. They treat the air inside the store as a precision-tuned field designed to influence the shopper's internal state. This chart from the Journal of Global Strategic Management maps out the exact process. It shows how specific background music dimensions like tempo and loudness are linked to your emotional response to waiting in line, which then determines your final attitude toward the store. This isn't just an observation, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry dedicated to optimizing your neural responses for profit. The primary biological target is the HPA axis, the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal network. When carefully engineered, invisible concentric rings of sound hit your ear. This axis flares, triggering a primal stress response. The corporate objective is to use this biological pathway to induce a very specific, localized anxiety, an unease that practically forces a commercial transaction. The music playing overhead while you shop is a calculated biological attack designed to monetize your body's natural stress response. Consumer behavior researchers treat musical tempo as a literal remote control for human movement. They call the first tactic the trap. When a store plays slow tempo audio, specifically anything under 72 beats per minute, your physical walking speed subconsciously drops to match the rhythm. This bar chart compares standard retail sales against environments running that sub 72 BPM audio. By artificially decelerating your pace, stores extend your browsing time, driving a 38% spike in total sales volume. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the flush. This relies on fast-tempo acoustic setups. The opposite tactic is the flush. Relying on fast-tempo setups, tracks pushing over 94 beats per minute, it deliberately accelerates your physiological arousal. Store managers deploy the flush tactically. When a location hits physical capacity, they crank the BPM past 94. The faster rhythm forces rapid turnover, pushing the crowds toward the exits. Retailers are actively dictating the physical pacing of your body. They speed up or slow down your heart rate to maximize their revenue per square foot. The audio track is only half the equation. The physical architecture of the store itself does the rest of the heavy lifting. Modern retail aesthetics prioritize specific materials: large panes of glass, polished concrete, and exposed metal ceilings. These highly reflective, hard surfaces transform the physical space into an acoustic echo chamber. Ambient sound violently ricochets and multiplies across the displays. All this bouncing noise eventually crosses a critical biological threshold, 75 decibels. Once ambient noise breaches that 75 decibels limit, your brain stops treating it as harmless background. It actively begins occupying your cognitive resources. The clean, minimalist architectural aesthetic is a functional disguise. The room is engineered to bounce high decibel stress directly into your nervous system. Standing inside one of these 75 decibel echo chambers triggers immediate neurological fallout. This graph tracks noise exposure against blood chemistry. At 75 decibels, the sympathetic nervous system activates, causing a rapid cortisol spike. On the electroencephalogram, smooth alpha waves are suppressed, instantly replaced by a jagged, erratic surge of high-stress beta waves. Physically, this exposure manifests as microheadaches and a subtle spatial disorientation. Psychologically, you experience a sudden, artificial sense of localized anxiety. The annoyance you feel while waiting in line isn't a matter of personal taste. Your brain is registering a state of clinical, measurable panic. Why would a retail conglomerate spend millions of dollars to intentionally induce biological panic in its own customers? The ultimate objective of the psychoacoustic blueprint is a state called cognitive overload. High-volume, continuous acoustic stress actively taxes your brain. It exhausts your working memory, leaving you unable to promenade with the store's volume. Retailers systematically compress the time you have available to make a rational decision. Unable to weigh options or read the fine print, the overloaded mind falls back on its default defense mechanism. It reverts to simple, impulsive choices. You grab the nearest, most basic item and wash straight to the checkout line, specifically to escape the acoustic pressure of the room. The ringing in your ears and that sudden urge to flee the store is the sound of an orchestrated transaction extracted directly from your hijacked biology.
The next time you walk into a crowded room and feel that sudden, unexplainable urge to escape, remember that your brain isn't failing you. It's simply responding to a hidden corporate system built directly into the walls. A system that knows exactly how to compromise your money, your mind, and your time.